Now I said we wanted to explore units of measurement here a little bit, okay? So what we're going to do is, over in your next column, okay, this is height in centimeters. I'd like us to calculate height in meters, right? Now why might you do that? Well, for instance, suppose you wanted to calculate, say, BMIs. The BMI formula needs height in meters, not in centimeters, so that might be a reason why you convert, okay? So, how many centimeters are there in a meter? How many centimeters? There are 100 centimeters, right? Because, you know, it's centi, like century, etc., right? So that's 100 in 1 meter, okay? So to go from centimeters to meters, I'm going to have to divide by 100, right? That'll turn 100 into 1, okay? Do you remember, did we actually have a look at what's the symbol for division on your keyboard? It's the slash, right? Like that. Okay? So, hit equals to start your formula. Go to the left, that's your height there. And now divide by 100. And it's 1.65 as you'd expect. That's 1.65 meters. So, division is this slash symbol. Yeah. Okay.
So you just do that?
Yeah. Okay. Divide by 100. And now if I copy that cell, I copy the formula that's there, you can go all the way down.
Something bad happens. Everything's gone. Wait, how do you copy it?
Just Control C and then Control V. There you go.
Wait, so I press equals, sir?
Equals, and then I'll show you the formula. There you go.
B2 such.
Okay.
Boom.
Got it there?
Yeah. And then how did you make them all once?
So copy and paste it all the way down. Copy the cell and then paste it down. Or you can drag the corner. Do you remember how to drag the corner?
So I don't do shift and run down?
No, that's just going to select them. You want to paste into them.
Okay. So I'm kind of like...
Okay.
So could you bring out the sum again?
The formula?
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
RKO, give me the smart.
Okay. So now, I've got height in centimeters, I've got height in meters, but interestingly enough, even though we are a metric society, people still talk, especially with regard to height, we still talk in imperial, right? So we say, you know, something like, I'm 5 foot whatever, right? Or 6 foot whatever, or whatever your height might be, okay? So how would I go from these into height in feet? How would I do it? Okay, now I'm going to go to Google and say, what is 1 foot in centimeters? Okay, 1 foot in centimeters. And it tells me that 1 foot is 30.48 centimeters. Let me write that down, that's important.
12 inches.
Okay. Now inches is not very helpful yet, because they're going to be another unit of comparison still. Okay. So I've got 1 foot equals 30, I should write them the other way around. 1 foot equals 30.48 centimeters. So can someone give me a suggestion for how we're going to write a formula for this column? Yeah.
Centimeters divided by 30.4.
Okay, so I've got centimeters there. And I'm going to divide by this 30.48. If I divide it by 100, it'll give me meters. But if I divide by 30.48, it should give me feet. Okay, now you look at that. Does that sound reasonable? 5 foot something. It does sound reasonable. So we've done it right. And again, you can copy that and paste it down. Okay, all the way to the bottom. This scenario is interesting to me. It's useful, but it's not natural, because if you say to someone, how tall are you? You don't expect them to say, I'm 5.41338858 feet tall, right? Instead, we say, I'm 5 foot 9, 5 foot 3. What's that second number? When you say 5 foot
Inches.
9, aha, okay. So what we're kind of inserting in there is that second number is inches, okay? So how do I get that out of there? This is tricky, okay? So let me show you how to get it out. Here's what we're going to do. The first thing I want is I want just the number of feet. So for example, here I just want 5. Here I just want 4, I just want 6, and so on. Okay, so we're going to do a few cool formulas here. Okay, so this is the feet only, right? So how am I going to do this? Basically, what you want is you want some rounding, right? Like, you see 5.41, it rounds down to 5. So that gives you the number of feet, okay? 4.1, that also rounds down to 4. That's okay, right? But if you just do rounding on this, what's going to happen? It's going to go up to 6, but no one says, oh, I'm 6 foot minus 1, right? You say I'm 5 foot 11, even though it's really close to 6, right? So what we want is for it to round down, always round down, no matter how close it is to the number above. So if you want it to round down, Excel is very common sense with how it names its things. You write down, round down, okay? So I said equals round down.
What happens if you put a space in between words?
Yeah, try not to put in spaces. It's sort of often it will break on you if you put in spaces because it's expecting something there and it's not there. Okay, so I'm going to open up brackets.
Still says
okay.
name, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I haven't finished it. So what do I want to round down? I want to round down the height in feet. So we'll go over to that. So that's D2. And then you might notice it says here you have the number you want to round down and then a number of digits. They mean decimal places. Okay, how many decimal places do I want? I don't want any decimal places. I just want the 5, right? Yeah, that's what I meant to say, right? Yeah. So therefore, you go comma 0. Okay? So what's it doing? It's rounding down this cell to 0 decimal places. You hit enter, and you get 5. Well, no big deal. You expected that. But if we copy that formula down into the ones below, what do you get? Does it work? Yeah, it works. Look, even in this case here, 5.9 feet, right? It has rounded down to 5 anyway. Okay. All right. So now my task is I have to work out how many inches there are left. Okay. How do I do that?